Okay, we're here in my driveway with my personal car. This is a 2004 Mini Cooper S, and I've been dealing with a problem for the last few years. It's finally just driven me bonkers, and I want to do something about it. You know, as the saying goes, a mechanic's car is the one that's neglected the most. So I'm just now getting to this problem. As you can see here, the car is parked on level ground. I'm just going to open the door and let go of the door. I'm not going to push it, I'm just going to let go. And that stupid sucker closes. The car can even be pointing downhill and it'll still close, and usually as I'm trying to get out, it'll try to close on my legs. Kind of a chronic mini issue, but there is an updated part that will hopefully solve this issue. And I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do this. Okay, so the first order of business is to remove this door panel or door card if you're British. And the first thing you want to do is take the 3 torx screws out of the door panel. Hopefully I'm in camera frame here. These 3 screws are a Torx T30. So we'll want to go ahead and remove all 3 of those screws. Sometimes a magnet helps here, but pounding on the door panel also works equally well. Until you drop a screw. Okay, anyway, I'll locate that screw here in a little bit, the third one. And then next bit is to remove this trim piece around the door handle. You want to be very careful with it, as it's can be pretty brittle. Put that aside. Next up is this little reflector. You're going to want to go ahead and pry it off with a screwdriver or a trim tool, and that reveals another screw. And here's a third screw right here. This is the short one. Okay, so here's a trim tool. I'm going to go ahead and pull the reflector out, just like so. And go ahead and remove this screw as well. This will also be a short screw. Okay, once you've gotten this screw under the reflector and these 3 other screws in the main bit of the door panel, you're going to want to use a trim tool like so to pull the door panel. And we'll just carefully go around. I might have to get a thinner trim tool. Something that fits between the door and the door panel. You just want to slowly pull away from the door. Once you get the bottom of the door panel out, this top part of the panel is also clipped in. You want to pull straight back to release the upper fasteners. Okay, so once the door panel is off, you can go ahead and put it aside, and we'll move on to the next step. Alright, the next order of business is to remove this screw that holds the door brake or door check strap to the A-pillar. You're going to need a special socket for it. In this case, it's an E10, which is an external Torx type socket, and it fits pretty snug on this. You'll need a short extension and a ratchet to go with it. And once you get that done, there's a couple of T30 screws behind this rubber boot that you'll need to get to. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Hopefully I can get you in the camera. Like so. Okay. Okay, so there's the E10 out. Now this rubber boot needs to come out of the way, and to do that you basically just need to flex these ears outward. Just like so. Okay, so this is the boot. These ears sit on the torque screws that hold that in. I'm going to use a ratchet with a T30 attachment on it. These can be a pain, but make sure you use the correct size, T30. I've seen people try to use a T25 on these, and when they're really tight, the wrong size bit will definitely strip out these torque screws. Okay, from here, we've got to reach inside the door to pull out the check strap. Okay, hopefully you can see something. Okay. So that's the inside view here. You're going to want to push this check strap through and pull it out. So now that you've seen what the inside of the door looks like, I'm going to go ahead and reach in and pull this out very carefully. And here we go. Here's the old rusty, crusty part. Now, to install the new one, basically feed it back through the hole the same way the old one came out. Okay, here's the new part. It's the same part whether it's for the left or the right side door. And this is the part number right here, 5121 7176 811. This is the most recent part number for this part, the most recent revision. So we're going to go ahead and take it out of the bag. And see here, it's basically the exact same thing. You want to take note that if you're working on the left-hand side of the door, or left-hand door, see where it says LH right here? You want that to face up. If you're working on the right-hand side door, you have this facing this way. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and feed it through the door. Pretty. Okay, you'll have to twist it a little bit to get this piece through the door. Okay. And we'll go ahead and put the T30 torque screws back in and snug them up. If you see any witness marks on the door for where the old ones, where the old screws were, you want to go ahead and line them up. Although it's not usually necessary to do that, you can just go ahead and plug her in like so. And we just want to go snug. I know there's a torque spec on this, but I don't know what it is at the moment. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clean this rubber boot back up and then put it back on the check strap here. Okay, I got this clean, or as clean as I can get it in a reasonable amount of time. So we're going to go ahead and slip it over the door check, just like the way it was before we took it off, and stretch it out over the torque screws just like original. And then we'll go ahead and put in the E10 screw. here's a better point of view. Okay, so we'll just close the door slightly until we get the bolt hole to line up. Then I'm going to go ahead and tighten it. So let me put you down. All right. Okay, and same thing, we're just going to go snug. Okay, just like that. Okay, we are lined up. Good to go. Oh, I can tell already. Look at that. The door is holding open. There's another detent right there. The door is still holding open. And one more detent. That is better than the original one when this car was brand new. Okay. All right, last order of business is to put the door panel back on. It just pushes onto these clips at the top. We want to make sure the door lock pull is lined up with its hole. And the other fasteners on the door panel itself go into these holes here. Okay, so set you down and point you up so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, make sure your door panel clips are intact. If you have any that are broken, go ahead and replace them at this time. Basically just going to line things up the way it should go. Once the top is lined up, you can just give it a firm push. Firm push. And then same with all these other clips. Alright, the door card should be flush with the door itself. If it's not, that's an indication that the door pins are not lined up. Now lastly, we're going to go ahead and put the screws back in. I'm going to go ahead and start with the short ones. It's only screwing into a plastic fastener, so you don't have to go that tight. We're not cranking down on them. And then the two long screws are going to go in these two holes. Little reflector. Line the 3 tabs up. Okay, so there's 3 tabs. Hopefully you can see that. And there's 3 holes in the door panel the tabs line up with. Just like so. And the door handle speaker tweeter cover. Same thing, you just want to line everything up and push. And just like so. Everything closes, it's nice and quiet. stops at its detents. Man, the one thing that annoyed me with this car from day one was the door check. I'm so glad they finally came up with an updated part. And as you can see, I did it here in the rain in my driveway. Pretty simple job if you have the right tools. Anyway, I hope this helps. If you like this video, go ahead and click the like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so that you can get notification when I come up with more videos. Thank you very much.